What's up, team? If you're watching me, it means that I am live. All right, looks like it's working. Good stuff. If you are watching live, say hello. I'm going to do a warm-up. I'm just had a lot of people ask me lately, how do I do my home workouts, all these different things, and you know what? I'm about to do one, and I thought I'm just going to film myself. So what I do first, I grab a bunch of these things, and I do some trigger point release stuff with it. So I'm going to show you guys how I use all of this equipment in my warm-up and why I do it all. So the first thing I do is I get this vibrating roller, and I do this whole warm-up probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. And I turn 45 next month, so you know, I need to warm up in a way that really, I'm not going to do that because you probably won't be able to hear me, but you can hear it's a vibrating roller. And I normally use the vibrating function, but I won't today. So I do this foam rolling first, and yeah, so I turn 45 this year, so next month. So the way that I warm up is very different to the way I warmed up when I was 25. It's all about making sure that the aches and pains and everything that we feel as we get older, that we can keep it at bay and do the things that we want and enjoy our best years. And I've got two main conditions to think about. One of them is that I have spondylolisthesis and a pars fracture in L4 and L5. And the other one is, hey from the USA. Hi CK, how are ya? Thanks for joining in and saying hello. So spondylolisthesis in my lower back, which is something I have to think about when I warm up. And I also have had a slap tear in both shoulders, in my left shoulder and right shoulder. And that's something that is like a constant thing you have to think about. So my whole warm-up is about preparing me for my workout, but making sure that those issues don't get in the way of my training and don't cause pain and don't get worse and all that stuff. So I do all this foam rolling on my lower body because of the spondylolisthesis in my lower back. Causes an anterior pelvic tilt and just causes things to get really, really sore, to be honest. I wake up quite stiff, and foam rolling like this really helps. It just stimulates blood flow, and there's differing opinions on whether foam rolling actually really does that much for you, but whether it's subjective or objective, for me, it really helps me warm up. It increases my range of motion, it reduces my stiffness and tightness, and I've just found over the decades that I've been training that this is the best way to start my workout. So I start with this, and then I'm going to move into some trigger point release here. I'll show you how I use this yoga block and what I do with these two bands. These are for my shoulders, and also this bad boy here, all for my shoulders. And I usually, it depends on how fast I'm moving. This is a really late training session for me. I normally do my workouts at 5:30 a.m. I get up at 5. Right now, I think it's almost 9 a.m., but it's Easter Monday, you know, so I had to spend some time with my son. I had to go and kick a footy around. And yeah, so there we go. How was Easter for everyone? I feel like a beached whale. I ate so much food, so much more than what I would normally eat. It's funny though, this year I'm really focusing on building muscle. I've never done that before. I've never had my priority of training to build muscle. My priority of training has always been around movement, you know, like movement skills and flexibility skills and calisthenics skills, but after I got these 2 slap tears, the more and more I researched it, the clearer it was that the thing I am missing the most to achieve my goals is muscle mass in my shoulders, in my upper body. My decade-long journey with Kung Fu really prepared my legs, but it didn't prepare my upper body for calisthenics. And so I'm really working on building muscle this year. And I weighed myself last night for the first time in, God, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. And I'm 94 kilograms with clothes on, so I guess 93. I don't know what that is in pounds. It must be 200 pounds or something like that. Let me get my phone and check. What's 93 kilograms in pounds? Let me see, 93 times 2.2, 205 pounds. I've never been that heavy in my life, so it's working because I'm not fatter. I'm still about 10% body fat, and the last time I weighed myself I was about 88 kilos, which is I guess 190 pounds or something like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Lots of protein supplements and stuff like that. What are you asking me, CK? Can I clarify how customizable the UMS app is? For example, I only have dip bars, pull-up bars and dumbbells, some back injuries, bulging disc, dislocated rib. I love calisthenics. I want to gain strength and flexibility and fix my back problems. I don't want to lose fat. I'm already naturally very skinny. I have to inject insulin, type 1 diabetic, into fat, so I need to keep what I've got. I'm considering signing up for the UMS app before the Easter sale is over. Cool, man. I'm really happy that you asked these questions because it gives me something to talk about now instead of just blowing my trumpet about my warm-up. So strap yourself in and I will talk you right through all of that. And thanks for watching live, CK. It just makes these things so much more, so much easier for me to do, you know, if I've got interaction here. I was about to do my workout and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go live, so I'm happy I did. So I'm going to go through this bit by bit. So how customizable is the UMS app? I might just increase the size of what I'm seeing here so that I can read it easier from down there. There we go. The UMS app is completely customizable, and it's very, very different from what we used to do with Thinkific. It's not like you get the app and you just get access to it and here's some instructions and, you know, go through it yourself. It's actually me that you work with very, very closely. And the way so I customize it for you. And the way I do that is we have an onboarding questionnaire that everybody fills out. It's 10 questions, and the questions are around, there's what your goals are. We get really laser focused on what your goals are and what your number one goal is. Oh, I can see my microphone is topping out a little bit. I'm going to turn that down a bit. So we get really laser focused on what your goals are. Then we also, it's about your availability. How many days a week can you train? How long can your workouts be? What equipment have you got access to? What injuries do you have? How long have you been training for? How consistently have you been training lately? And then I use all of that information to create a completely customized experience for you. So everybody's UMS experience is different. It's all the UMS, right? It's all the programs that Yanni and I have created over the past decade or so. So it's all balances strength and flexibility, uses the UMS principles, you know, all the stuff in there. But we have home workout options, gym workout options, specialized calisthenics options, options that have more focus on flexibility, options that have more focus on strength. We've got rehab programs, and that's what we learned in the past was to have all those programs and just give it to people and try to give them instructions on how to use it. It just doesn't work. You know, when you've been a coach, I've been a coach since 1998, so almost a quarter of a century now. What I know about programming, the way that I can assign programs to people to get them results, you just can't expect that people could be able to work that out for themselves. I can hear you saying that sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's awesome, man. It really is. And it doesn't stop there. Like once you're in the app, There's forums in there, and you have the opportunity to message me directly, and I'm in there constantly. It's what I do. If you read our Google reviews, one of the things that people are always talking about is how incredible the connection with Yanni and me and the team is. Like we're constantly responding to people. You'll often get live chat with me. You'll ask me a question and I'll be on live and I'll be talking to you live, just back and forward and answering your questions. So how customizable is it? It's completely customizable. And we work continuously to customize it. So whatever, as you evolve, as you progress, as you get more equipment at home, whatever it is, it'll always be customized to what you need. Now, just quickly back to my warm-up. My warm-up would normally take a lot less time than this, but I'm having a chat to you, so that's cool. And now back to your next question, like how much equipment do you need? You've got all you need for a really, really good home workout. You've basically got what I've got at home, except I've got a nice bench. So all I have here, I don't even have a dip station. I do my dips on... Oh, you're welcome, man. It's totally... I hope I'm addressing a man here, by the way. I keep saying man. Most of our audience on YouTube is a man. So I don't even have a dip bar. I don't know if you've seen my videos recently where I do dips, but what I do, and I'm about to set it up because it's what I'm doing in my workout today, I actually have 2 of these boxes, and I set these boxes up here like this, and then I use the corner of my sit-stand desk where, if I turn this camera here, so that's where I do dips. I do dips here like this, okay? And that's what I'm getting warmed up for. I'm going to be doing that in my workout today. So if you've got a dip bar, then you're ahead of me. And all I've got is, I've got those boxes, I've got this, where I do my dips there, and then I do my pull-ups outside. So outside my office out there, I've got a pull-up bar set up, and I've got some gymnastics rings, and that's it. So you've got everything that you need. San Francisco, awesome. That's cool. San Francisco is one of the very few places I've visited in the USA. It was a beautiful place. I went over to the Golden Gate Bridge to I think it was the Muir Forest, I think it was called. Awesome place. Okay, so what else did you ask? You want to gain strength and flexibility and fix your back problems. Man, you've come to the right place. Like, that's exactly what I do. I want to get strong and flexible, and I want to fix my back problems. And the UMS is so good at it. If I tell me what your back problems are. What are they? If I didn't do the workouts that I do, the UMS, which the whole UMS has been built around what Yanni and I do and what we've found works for, middle-aged men. Those are the people that we work with. It just seems to be who we attract. Everybody's got aches and pains in their body that they need to deal with. Bulging disc at the very bottom of the spine, dislocated rib. Yep. So I've helped so many people that have had bulging discs, man. I've lost count. We've had guys come in that were in their early 40s, and when they walked in the gym, this is back when we owned Unity Gym. We've obviously sold it now, and we only do online. When they walked in the gym, they looked at the gym and went, "Oh man, I don't think this place is for me." And I said, "Why not?" And they've gone, "Well, all these weights, I can't do deadlifts and exercises like that. I've got bulging discs and it just blows it out." And I talked them through how it's not that the weights are the problem, and it's not that the bulging disc is the problem. It's that then they don't understand progressive overload and how to strengthen their body and prepare themselves for the exercises. When you have something like a bulging disc, deadlifting is one of the most important exercises for you to do. Jefferson curls, things like that, but you have to be progressive with it, so you don't do it in a way where it makes the issue worse. And that comes down to technique optimization first. You first really dial in the technique, and then second is that you progressively overload the weight. So I've had people come in, these same guys that I'm talking about, And when I said, all right, we're going to do a Jefferson curl, I don't know if you know what that is, but it's where you hold onto a weight and you curl down through your spine like this. So you're holding onto a weight as you do that. And they're like, oh, I can't do that. It's going to blow my back out. And so we started with just body weight. And all they're doing is going down like this to the point where they go, okay, that's a little bit painful. And then they come back up. And then over time, that range increases and they get more range that's pain-free. And then you start adding weight and you progressively overload the body. And those same guys that I'm describing, and this has happened more times than I could count. 6 months later, they're deadlifting 1.5 times their own body weight, completely pain-free and working out better than they were in their 20s. So our whole system has been designed to help, overcome issues like that. Yeah, cool. Oh, cool. We got a couple of people here. San Francisco 1860. I thought I was talking to CK. I didn't realize it. So yeah, man, it's does that answer your questions? Have I helped you to understand how the UMS could help you? I'm just going to move on to my last little bit of trigger point release before I get into my activation drills. For anybody that was watching this because they wanted to see what my warm-up looks like, it would normally take a lot less time than this, but that's what it is. I'm doing some trigger point release on my chest here, but I'm also doing end range contractions. So I'm externally rotating here to activate my rotator cuff and get my shoulders ready for my workout. Cool, let me know if you've got any more questions, CK. And anybody that's watching this, if you just heard me say all of that, we do have this Easter sale that's on now, and it ends in, I think it's about 24 hours. I haven't checked because it's in Pacific time. It ends at 11:59 p.m. Monday, Easter Monday Pacific time. But it's half price if you join now, and you can cancel whenever you want. So if you're sitting on the fence and you want to know what this is like, give it a try. Because if you just joined in, if you look at CK's questions, my answer to it is that it is fully customizable. And I do that for you via a questionnaire that you fill out. And I then use that information to create a fully customized experience. It's really cool. All right, so what I do now is, this is all, actually I'm going to do a little bit for my hips. So because I've just done my trigger point, my foam rolling and a little bit of trigger point release on my back and my hips and everything, I'm in a good position now to just do some nice mobility, like the blood's circulating through my body, so I can just get my hips moving, warm everything up. Hey, Pink Floyd. CK, awesome. I'm glad I can answer your questions, man. Pink Floyd saying, man, I love your setup outside with the rings. I would be training during the... Yeah, it's cool, huh? I'm actually doing a series of videos now because I was talking to Yanni recently. I'm getting a bit hot. This is the purpose of a warm-up, right? Warms you up. So I'm getting hot, so I'm going to take this off. I was talking to Yanni about what should I be focusing on for content for the next little while, because Yanni and I do different roles in the business. I'm obviously the content dude. And he said, man, you should do a whole bunch of stuff on home workouts because it's something that you can really talk about from real experience. Like I've come from Unity Gym where I was training in a full gym with, like Unity Gym was a dream gym, the way that we set it up for the way that we train for like hybrid calisthenics, weightlifting, flexibility type workouts. It was so custom set up that to come home, he was like, you've had this experience with transitioning, you should do it. So I'm actually going to do a series on home workouts, on my home workout setup. Would passive stretching on off days when I'm not doing drills be beneficial, or could that time be better? No, passive stretching's good. It's funny when people ask questions like that. Sorry, I keep looking up there, I should be looking here. When people ask questions like that, like would passive stretching on days off be beneficial? It absolutely would. And I think one of the biggest problems that people get caught up in is like, what's the best way to work out versus, how can I just continue to move forward, you know, with this 1% better every day kind of mentality. And the most important thing that I've learned for people to get their head around is to create a habit, you know, a daily habit of exercise and movement. And the whole UMS app has been built around that. It's been built around removing the guesswork, because if you guys think about this, you think about how much time you spend watching YouTube videos, and you know, before I knew what I know now, there was a period of time, about a decade or a decade and a half ago, where I spent so much time watching videos, like so much of my time. And it contributed to who I am now and what I've got, but I never really got any big breakthroughs. So I'm doing some muscle activation now. So this is for my scapular stabilizers. I never got any really big breakthroughs until I started working with people that knew more than me. So, you know, I worked with some really good online coaches in they were good in their field of what they did. No one that I've worked with sort of puts it all together in something that's doable in a realistic amount of time, in my opinion. But it's only once you remove that guesswork and you just focus on getting it done that the magic really happens. And so, you know, should you do passive stretching on a day off? Yeah, for sure. It's okay to do that. It's more effective to do like a mobility routine like what I'm doing when you know what to do, which is why we have follow along routines. Like I do those so that people can go, oh, that's 15 minutes. I'm going to press play and do that. That's more valuable. In all honesty, passive stretching, I do very little of it. And the only reason I do very little of it is that I've got better tools in the toolbox. And so I might like I kind of use passive stretching like when I've done a stretch or a flexibility exercise, and as soon as I've finished the stretch, if I've got a little bit of time in my round, I'll just drop down, because I do loaded stretching and end range contractions and things like that. That's what we use in the UMS, more modern methods of flexibility. And if you've been watching the content on our channel, you'd know that I promote that kind of stuff. And so what I'll do is I'll do like for example, for the hip flexors, if I'm doing like an end range contraction, so I'm getting into a good hip flexor stretch here, and I'm contracting my hamstrings, doing an end range contraction. Once I've finished that, I'll kind of come down and just sit here for 10 or 30 seconds in a passive stretch. That's how I use passive stretching. But, you know, going back to it, anything that you do on your days off, if it becomes a habit and it becomes something that you actually do, then that's valuable. And, you know, you can keep doing it for sure. There you go. Hope that helps. All right, now I'm on to my last little bit of shoulder activation. So this is for my rotator cuff. And I do this just to activate my rotator cuff. And this is a very specialized piece of equipment. And you can see my left side, I struggle so much more than on my right side with this. There's a lot of coordination going on to try and make this happen. And my left side, which is my most recently injured side, is still not where my right side is. But you can still get good results with muscle activation drills without using something as specialized as this. But I've got it, so I use it. That's what it is. And I certainly didn't plan to be doing a live video today, so I'm in my daggiest trackies, but it is what it is. All right. That's pretty much it. I'm going to get out and do my workout now. I hope I helped you guys. And if anybody's watching this and you're considering to join the UMS like CK, do it now, because there's a half-price sale going on right now. You can click the link on my YouTube channel. I've updated it so it takes you to the sale. It's only got about 24 hours left. I hope I helped you guys. Thanks for tuning in live and saying hello. Maybe I'll start doing this daily when I do my warm-ups, if you guys are interested, but it'll be a bit earlier. It'd be at 5:30 a.m. Sydney time. All right, team, I'm going to train. Hope you guys get a good workout in today. Even if you ate heaps like I did over Easter, even if all you do is go for a brisk walk today or something, just something, get moving. And don't keep eating crap today. I had enough food over the last couple of days to last me a few days with calories, that's for sure. So I'm going to cut back a bit today. All right, team, have a good one. Oh, sorry, I've got another question. If you guys have got a question, yeah, there's heaps of women in the UMS, heaps. I know that San Francisco 1860, I know that I say for men 35 to 45, but understand that on YouTube, when we look at our analytics, 85% of our viewers are men. It's definitely not something that I intended, it's just the way that it is. But we have within the UMS, within the actual app, in the community, we did the statistics recently. We looked at our demographics, and I think 40% of our members are women. So it's about 60% men and 40% women. So it's absolutely for men and women, absolutely. It's just that to create clarity on the people that watch our channel, that's just the way that I speak. So yes, it's absolutely for women. It's funny, we get asked, do women need to train differently from men? And they don't, they shouldn't at all. It's, there'll be a difference in the amount of weight you lift, maybe, but men and women both should be focusing on getting strong, getting flexible, maintaining or even building muscle mass as they age. Yeah, it's definitely. And thanks for chiming in there, CK, as well. Yeah, there's heaps of women in the UMS. If you've got any final questions before I stop the stream, type something now. Don't write a long question because I'm going to stop it. Just write, yes, me, question, and then write your question so I know not to stop the stream. I'll give you guys one last chance. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for asking me questions. I didn't expect to have this much engagement on this. I thought I was just going to do a warm-up and some people might watch. But anyway, I'm glad you joined in, and I hope you got something out of it. I'll see you soon, everyone. All right, how do I stop this?